I do not have any quote for today's talk, but I have an alarming message from one of the world's most successful entrepreneur, Bill Gates. It's not about coronavirus, but it's beyond than that and have more intense consequences than corona pandemic. He predicted the condition that we are facing right now in this pandemic and alerted the world to get ready for such an unimaginable disaster. So let's first listen Bill Gates from his TED Talk in 2015 and then what he mentioned in his recent blog on August 4, 2020.
So next time we might not be so lucky. You can have a virus where people feel well enough while they're infectious that they get on a plane or they go to a market. The source of the virus could be a natural epidemic like Ebola, or it could be bioterrorism. And so there are things that would literally make things 1,000 times worse. In fact, let's look at a model of a virus spread through the air like the Spanish flu back in 1918. So here's what would happen. It would spread throughout the world very, very quickly. And you can see there's over 30 million people die from that epidemic. So this is a serious problem. We should be concerned.
Now, some of the words from Bill Gates' recent blog that I am talking about COVID-19, but in just a few decades, the same description will fit another global crisis, climate change. As awful as this pandemic is, climate change could be worse. He also added that I realize that it's hard to think about a problem like climate change right now. When disaster strikes, it is human nature to worry only about meeting our most immediate needs, especially when the disaster is as bad as COVID-19. Even as the world works to stop the novel coronavirus and begin recovering from it, we also need to act to avoid a climate disaster by building and deploying innovations that will let us eliminate our greenhouse gases emissions. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Expert-Del podcast to fulfill your mind with the virtues of life. I'm your host Umang Panchal, inviting you to join us at Expert-Del podcast, where we meet some enormous personalities from the world and listen them to learn from their stories. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to inviting you all listeners in this episode number 3 of Expert-Del podcast. And today we are going to talk with Miss Lina Zahayka, who is a dentist, author, researcher, TEDx speaker, and a CEO of an organization which is working towards the humanity and saving the world from the greenhouse gases. She is from Palestine and got her formal education in dentistry from Arab American University. She also believes that it's the responsibility of every young man and woman to make a better and safe world for the next generation of the earth. So, let's invite our today's guest, a young entrepreneur from Palestine, to talk about the mission, vision, and the innovations to help the mankind on the earth. Welcome, Lina, to my show at Expert-Del podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here today.
So let's get started today's episode about agriculture, pollution related to it, and the innovative products and services by Lina and her team, the Greeners. And I believe that the agriculture sector in United States and even many other countries like India, China, and Japan is contributing major role in employment and the economy of the country. So Lina, before moving ahead, can you please say that what is the current situation of agriculture field in Palestine and what is the impact of agriculture businesses on economy of the country?
Well, okay, the agriculture sector is an essential component in the Palestinian economy. Actually, the agriculture sector accounts for 5.5% of the Palestinian GDP and 50% of the total employment. But unfortunately, these numbers have been decreasing due to many obstacles that the Palestinian agriculture sector has been facing. And also, we have like many exports, like 20% of the exports from the agriculture sector.
Okay, so from your answer, I can say, like many other countries, Palestine is also one of the country in which agriculture is the key factor in economical development.
Right.
I would like to say I am not belonging from the farmer community, but I have some of the ideas that the problems and the difficulty that the farmers are facing right now. And as per the American Farm Bureau Federation noted that the agriculture industry is facing challenges in infrastructure, immigration policies, trade policies, and lots of government regulatory system. And hence, before going to the emerging technology that you and your company bringing to the world, tell me some of the serious problems that you found in agriculture, especially in the farming sector right now.
Well, even our agriculture sector is suffering of many problems. The main problem that our agriculture sector is facing is the impact of the Israeli occupation and its daily practices, because Palestinians rely on Israel to let the products in, and those Israeli restrictions on the import of fertilizers, for example, cost our agriculture sector like $142 million annually, and this is a very big number. There
It
are
is.
also other problems like in the infrastructure, in like some problems like the improper use of chemical fertilizers that have negative effects on the air, soil, water, and human health. Actually, producing chemical fertilizers emits nitrous oxide gas, which is a greenhouse gas, and a ton of it is equivalent to 310 tons of carbon dioxide, which contributes to climate change. And there are also many problems to these chemicals. They leak to the underground water and they kill the aquatic life. So we really need to find solution for these problems.
Hmm, I see. And I feel that the situation is going to be worse because lack of awareness. And if you are talking about the water pollution, and if I am not wrong, then the recent studies from Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations stated that the water pollution from agriculture has direct negative impacts on human health. For example, the well-known blue baby syndrome, in which high levels of nitrates in water can cause methemoglobinemia, a potential fatal illness in infants.
Yeah.
Also the use of fertilizers have been associated with human exposure to fatal injuries such as methemoglobinemia and also cancers.
Yes, we can see that the hazardous effect, the dangerous effect of these chemical fertilizers. And I can say that not only the health, but the cost of water treatment skyrocketed from last decade. To reduce nitrogen from water cost 59 to 340 billions of dollars a year for the United States, and for European Union the number ranges from 70 to 370 billions of euro per year. And I can say these numbers are really huge, and we can estimate the cost of saving the earth is increasing exponentially due to these hazardous fertilizers. So let's get into the point and tell me about your company and how you and your team are going to make a more sustainable, effective, and harmless innovation in the farming industry.
Well, Greeners is a company that uses innovative agriculture technology to produce eco-friendly fertilizers. By using our product, we seek to decrease the amount of CO2 emissions by 1% during the next 5 to 10 years and prevent all the harm that chemical fertilizers cause that I mentioned before. Also, all the materials that we need to produce our fertilizers are in the West Bank, so we don't need to import anything anymore.
Do you mean to say the material or the minerals that you are using into the in the process to making of fertilizers, you will get all from your country itself? You do not have to purchase that material from the outside?
Yeah, so we don't need it to be depending on Israel to let the products in, except for the device, which is called direct air capture, that we will import from the United States or from Switzerland.
Okay. So you said the instrument. So what it is about and how can you use it, and what it is actually? I want to know about it.
Okay, direct air capture is a machine that absorbs the CO2 from air. The CO2 could be used in many industries such as oil industry, food and beverage industries. And here we are using it in doing or creating the fertilizers. So the way that we are going to do the fertilizers is a secret recipe, but that one of my colleagues at Greeners have found.
One of the point that is noticeable from your talk is about you do not have to depend on the Israelis now to get your fertilizers or the materials for the fertilizers. So what do you mean by it? And can you say me some aspects like what are the situation right now and how it is impacting on the business of agriculture?
Yeah. So now we will be like one of the first companies of fertilizers in Palestine. And the fertilizers will be able to the farmers with the same percentages and the same effectiveness of the chemical fertilizers. Our fertilizers won't be forbidden to be in the West Bank because they aren't made from explosive materials. They are made from natural minerals that we could find in the quarries of Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
So when we provide the farmers with fertilizers, this $142 million loss annually this number will disappear. So we would be like solving a big problem for the farmers here.
Okay, so from your talk, I can say the three things are noticeable. The first, that you are making the fertilizer from your country itself. You do not have to take any materials from outside your country. The second thing that you have said is the effectiveness is same as the chemical fertilizers. And the third thing is you are going to save $142 million of your country that is going to other country as the form of taxes and all the stuff. This is really amazing thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got this mindful quote from an entrepreneur that if you find a problem that people talk about emotionally as a serious problem in their lives, you can take that leap to developing the solution. And hence my direct question to you that how does these organic fertilizers can help the world and the farmers?
Okay. Our fertilizers, as I mentioned before, are as effective as chemicals. We produce them by the technology direct air capture, which absorbs CO2 from air where it dissolves in the water, stimulating carbonate reactions with some minerals that we added. By using our product, we will be decreasing the huge amounts of CO2, and we
Wow.
will solve all the soil and air pollution problems.
Okay, so it means that by using all kind of natural stuff, you are going to reduce the pollution and the pollution, even the air pollution, soil pollution, and the water pollution.
Yeah, by our project, our startup will be preventing all of these things: the soil pollution, the air pollution, and the water pollution. And also, we will do a major help for the Palestinian economy right here.
I got you, and I found that your idea and your product is revolutionary for the entire farming industry, not only for the Palestine but for the world also. And it also can help thousands of people. And it sounds interesting, but I'm curious to know about your current plan to show your product to the world. And what do you think as a CEO, or I can say as a leader, to expand your company in order to reach other countries and their farmers?
Okay, we already started talking to farmers and nurseries who are interested in buying our product. We're also looking forward to do partnerships with some fertilizers distribution agencies that are going to help us more in expanding. In our future plan, we want to expand to Africa since we found that there is a more need for our products. But this is still under research. We also were qualified to participate in the HALT Prize Accelerator program, where professional experts will be working with us in Ashford Estate in the outskirts of London this winter to be able to expand our company and to let many investors and many people know about our startup, about our idea, and to help us to expand more and more and to develop our company more and more. If you want to know what is the Hot Prize is an annual year-long competition that gathers ideas from college students after challenging them to solve a pressing social issue. The Hot Prize Foundation donates $1 million in seed capital to help the winning team launch their social enterprise. And now we are actually finalists in the Heart Prize.
And it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned the Halt Prize Foundation. So can you give me a brief idea about how did you get this competition, and how did you know about it, and when did you participated in it?
Well, this competition actually happened in many universities around the world.
Mhm.
I participated in this competition twice before, and each year I participate and I say like next year I'm going to be a finalist, and next year I'm gonna be one of the winning members of the $1 million. So since that, every at the beginning of the year they say about what's the challenge for this year. So this year's challenge was about the environmental problems and about climate change. And I was talking to Noor last year that we are going to participate this year. So we were starting to look for ideas, and Noor, one of the co-founders of Winners, found the idea, and then we brought Haitham and Tasneem,
Mhm.
and we've been working for 8 months now on the startup.
Sounds interesting. And also, you have said 8 months from now. It means from when Corona started, at least, if I'm right.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right.
Okay, yes. So that is what entrepreneurs are doing in this pandemic, and I can say they are actually working towards the humanity, towards the changing idea for the world, and they are helping the world by investing their time during this pandemic. I have seen that the CEO, the founder of this company, is Ahmed Askar, and he believes that solving the world's most pressing challenges is not just the right thing to do, but it is also good business. And I think it's really helpful for many of the entrepreneurs who are working in this field and helping the world by their way, and they can get all the informations and help from this organization.
Yeah,
So moving further to your company, I personally believe that there is no such thing as a self-made man or woman. You will reach your goal only with the help of others, and the other means the team member. So can you describe how you guys formed a team and thought to establish a company, and how does each member of your team is contributing the success of the company?
so we are 14 members. Noor, our product manager, Haitham, our business manager, Tasneem, our marketing manager, and me, the CEO. All of us were interested in entrepreneurship and specifically in participating in the Hot Prize competition before.
Mhm.
So Noor, my colleague and my friend, as I mentioned before, told me about the idea that she is planning to join the Hot Prize with. I researched it more. I was so much enthusiastic about it, so I joined. I knew Haitham before. I knew how he was interested in entrepreneurship and that he has created a startup, his own startup before. So I asked him to join as well, so he could like share with us his expertise in this field.
Mhm.
Finally, I didn't know Tasneem, but a friend of mine recommended her to me. He told me how much talented, ambitious girl she is. So I asked her to join as well, and we've been working, as I mentioned before, for like 8 months now, and everything is going perfect between us.
Okay. I personally believe that team management and stakeholder management is the crucial task for the leaders and the CEO of the organization, and the enthusiasm of individuals can lead any organization toward the success. And I also would like to add that from Expert Dale community, I wish you all the best for your future endeavors and for future competition.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's talk about some real life testimonials. And during my management class, I learned that a customer talking about their experiences with you is worth 10 times than that which you write or say about yourself. And hence, the main thing is the result of your product. And I want to know that what are the reactions from your customers and how do they feel about your product?
Well, our product actually proved its efficacy in the laboratory. We were planning to start selling this month, but we saw at the last moment that it would be better to hold on a little bit until we test it on plants and see how its effect on the plants would be in comparison to chemical fertilizers. But we found 10 farmers till now and 2 nurseries who were ready to buy the product. And since we started, we've been hearing like many words like that we are going to fail, the prototype will never work, and that we'll never be going to make it. But we didn't listen to anyone. We just kept the hard work, and the prototype has worked, has proved its efficacy on the laboratory. And we've been improving day by day because we believe in the idea and in the product, and that this product is going to change the life of millions. And many farmers, many people were interested, and we hope that they will stay interested and they will give us the most enthusiastic and the most good feedback after buying the product and using it.
This sounds so interesting that you faced the difficulties that and you challenged the difficulties and you overcome that, and finally you made the product that is going to be sell soon. And also the interesting thing is the farmers, the nursery members, they are going to give you the reviews and they are pretty nice. So it's interesting for you to go ahead with your product. And also I would like to ask a question from this competition, that you got the reviews from your customers as well. Did you get any review from your judges that you have at their competition, or I can say, did you get any kind of help from the competition, their mentors or anybody else are there to help you guys?
Yeah, well, you mean like the hot prize?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We are now working with mentors. Well, our mentor for now is Christian, and Christian is a Christian, and he's been working with us. I mean, we meet with him like twice a week, and we told him what's our plans, what's our questions, and he's an expert, so he can help us to develop more. So yeah, from the hot prize, there are Chris, who was our mentor, and also there was a pre-accelerator program on Zoom where we were pitching in front of the experts. There are lots of experts, and they were giving us their feedback on the pitches and on the product. So yeah, we've been in the pre-accelerator period for 3 months. It's going to end in the next week, but we learned a lot in during these 3 months.
Okay, so as you mentioned, that is the structure of this competition, and you were selected from some of the students. So can you give me the figures or the numbers, I can say, how many students or the university participated in this competition, and which countries are participated in this competition, and if the competition is going ahead, what will be the future of this competition?
Well, we were picked from 300,000 students from 121 countries around the world. And now we reached the finals. We are 35 teams from all around the world, from Jordan, Canada, Ecuador, Kenya, United States, from all around the world. In London, will be in London, all of us in December, where the accelerator will be held. In the accelerator, they will help us to develop our product and our startup more and more, and we will learn many things that is related to startups and to business. And at the end of the accelerator, they are going to pick the best 6 teams so they can compete in the United Nations building for the $1 million. One of the 6 is going to get the $1 million.
Wow, sounds interesting that you guys were selected from like 300,000 students participated in this competition, and now you will have a chance to be selected in these 6 teams after the competition in December. And then after, if you will win the competition, then you will get the $1 million for the research and further progress in your project. Wow, this is awesome. And it's a great journey, I can say, for you. It's your hard work and dedication that shows that you have already won this competition among 300,000 students and you are going ahead in December to the next level of this competition. Sounds really interesting. It's inspiring also. Okay, so after doing such kind of innovation, you have implemented your plan. You did all the hard work and smart work and getting the positive reviews from your customers. So let me ask the question that what is the future, or I can say what is the future goal of your company?
Well, our future goal is to reduce the amount of CO2 emissions by 1% in the next 5 to 10 years, which depends on how many products we are going to sell, because the more products we make means the more CO2 we absorb from the air. Also, to expand to Africa, as I mentioned before, and to all the markets that need our fertilizers. We're also looking forward to do partnerships with both the Ministry of Agriculture. We actually started the process of doing the partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, and we're looking forward to do partnerships with the Ministry of Health and to take the license from the ISO organization to prove the effectiveness of our fertilizers and their great environmental impact.
Okay, so I believe that your fertilizers can help to reduce greenhouse gases very effectively, and that will impact directly to the environment changes and the global warming, and also the health of the people.
Yeah, right.
At the end, I want to know your experiences and what you have learned from your research and by the helping the people. And also I want to know that what kind of awareness you got about agriculture and farmers by doing your project and your innovative implementing your innovative ideas.
Well, during our research, we found this interesting information that I would love to share with you now. We
Mhm.
found that reducing food waste and saving half the amount of wasted food will feed nearly 5.1 billion people, which is equivalent to twice the number of hungry people in the world, according to the estimates of the World Food and Agriculture Organization. So, in
Mhm.
this case, we'll never need fertilizers from the first place. But until then, we will be relying on fertilizers as the only way to feed the increasing populations worldwide. And by talking with farmers who are kind people that offered us their time and their information and a cup of coffee most of the time, and by listening to their problems, this gave us more resilience to continue in the startup no matter what are the circumstances that we'll face in order to be able to help these people.
I see.
Yeah.
So, Lena, as an entrepreneur, you have learned many lessons, skills, problem solving techniques, and the most important thing is the sympathy towards the farmers and the agriculture related people. Your business and your company work for the humanity and it will create impact on the earth. I admire your efforts and struggle for such an astounding idea and creation. It means a lot and it's helpful for the people who are related to this industry. So now we are going towards the interesting session of the podcast and it's the rapid question answer session where I will ask some quick questions and you need to give me answer a quick and easy. So, are you ready for that?
Ready and here.
Okay, so my first question is as an entrepreneur, what is the most difficult task you believe?
Well, the most difficult task is that you are going to face many problems each day, and the ability to find fast, sensible solutions take a huge effort from you, and maybe this is the most difficult task that I have faced. Solving problems fast and, efficiently.
I'm agree with you that you said you face the difficulties each and every day. Though you have all the prepared stuff, though you have prepared all your materials, all the situation, you are ready for all the stuff. But though each and every day you will get the new difficulties, then you have to find the new answers, new solution for that. And I'm sure that you are facing that each and every problems are far more bigger than the previous one. And yes, I agree that we felt it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so the second question is, do you want to give message for the people regarding pollution and harmful fertilizers?
Yeah, of course. A shot of chemical fertilizers can give them the biggest tomatoes in the neighborhood, but at the same time, it's destroying our beautiful planet, which is already suffering. There will also be better solutions in the future, but we need to stand together in order to implement them.
I like that example that you gave that instead of getting big tomatoes, you need to get good tomatoes. That's so nice. The third question is your favorite book and author.
Well, my favorite book is The Secret for his writer Rhonda Byrne. I truly believe in the law of attraction and that in the idea that human can do whatever he wants in the world, no matter how big it is. If he was able to control his thoughts and his feelings, he will be able to change his life directly. There is also one another book that's maybe is the reason why I'm here today. It's the book of Rich Dad, Poor Dad for his writer Robert Kiyosaki
Yep.
and Sharon Litter.
Yep.
Both of the books are really awesome, and the Robert Kiyosaki is famous for the entrepreneurship and the various events that he held in United States. And I would like to say that book is really famous, and it is best selling in New York Times. The fourth question is, what is your ultimate goal in your life, or I can say how you want to help the world?
Well, I have 6 main goals in my life, and one of them is helping people, especially women, to get their rights and to reach their voice to the world. And I guess that Greeners is a great way to help people. And also, I'm proud that I have 2 other young ladies that is participating with me in this, and that proves that women in the world are capable of doing anything in this world. I also want to help people by increasing their awareness of what's happening to Earth due to human activities and by listening to their concerns and finding the best solutions for them, and also by implementing our product KP Fertility in markets in the next coming months.
I like your goal that you want to include all the women in this global crisis, and you want to make sure that they are aware about the situation of the world right now, because many of the girls and women can participate in this condition and can help the world like you.
Yeah, right.
So, the greeners and other entrepreneurs who are working on their projects to help the world and trying to make an innovative solutions in order to avoid harmful effect of the global warming are admirable. And I believe that your initiative and steps can inspire other entrepreneurs to apply their resources, energies, and funding to help the environment. Thank you so much, Lina, for joining us and telling us about your company and its impact on the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you for hosting me. I was really happy to be here today. I was really, really happy, and I want to thank you for this amazing interview and for this amazing effort to prepare for this interview.
It's really inspiring and interesting for me to take the interview of you, because the world is really getting the idea from the young entrepreneurs that how to save the world, how we can help the world, and we can make a better future for the next generation of the earth. So, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, Breaker, and also on YouTube. And if you like to read something about this episode, you can easily find the keynotes of the episode on our blog. You can get more information in the description, so please go and check it. So, stay tuned with us to learn world's powerful techniques, strategies, skills, information to get the virtues of life.